everyone, Cathy Zielske here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got a really cool die and I'm going to share 2 card projects with you that I think you're going to love. So stick around and I will show you how to create these card projects. The cards I'm sharing today all start with this fantastic new die, this Sunburst pop-out from Pinkfresh Studio. And my card today is an homage to my friend Laura Basson, who rocks rainbows like no one I know. And I will link her below as well. If you don't know her, you should. So let's jump in and take a look at the products I'm using. I'll have everything I'm using listed below the video in the Show More information box if you want to check it out. But here's a quick peek at the die. You can see it's a full card panel size. And the other thing I've got here is some Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock. You can purchase it in 8.5 by 11, and I didn't know that for the longest time. And why that's great is if you need a bigger piece for what I'm about to show you, you can just buy the larger size and cut it down. What I wanted to do was trace the rough outline of this die because I want to make sure that I'm getting my colors to be, as equal to these little divided cutout areas as possible. And so I created this little image that's going to guide my painting. Now I'm just adding in all of my colors, smushing them down onto my little water media mat. By the way, that water media mat, fantastic for things like this. And now all I'm doing is working my way around in rainbow order, picking up the colors with my water brush and bringing them down to the paper. And I'm trying to create a little blend between the 2 colors and pumping up colors as it requires. But this is a really simple way to create a gorgeous area of color. And the thing is that these distress inks, they're so great for painting. And when they dry so bold and bright, and I absolutely love that. So I'm gonna let this dry. And once it's dry, I will take the die, line it up in place, making sure those outlines aren't going to be part of the cut, and put this on the platform and run it through. And I'm going to go back and forth a few times just to make sure I get a real clean cut from the watercolor cardstock because it's a little thicker. Then I will gently take the die out, try to keep the pieces together because I'm going to realign the pieces and I'm going to get funky here in just a second. You'll see. Press and seal. Did you know that Jennifer McGuire's husband apparently invented this? It's a fantastic thing for leftovers and for card making. So now that all the pieces are in place, I'm going to lay the sticky side down onto this die cut and press down. Now this is a technique that I learned back when I first started card making and watched a Laura Basson video because she is amazing. And I thought, this is way too hard for me. Now that I've been making cards for a few years, not so hard. I can do this. I can create a saran wrap little frame, which is what I'm doing. But next, this is the tedious part. I'm not going to show you all of this, but I'm going to put foam squares just like that over all of the pieces so that I can pop everything up. But before that, I have to score my card base and create this. This will be a USA 2 card, top folding, which is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm taping it closed because this is really thick 110-pound cardstock and I don't want it to pop up. But here's a little pro tip for me and possibly for you. I took a piece of scrap cardstock that was almost the same size as this panel and placed it down over the rainbow die cuts. The reason, I just needed it to be less floppy when it came time to place this down because I tried this once and well, let's just say I made a mistake. I'll show you the mistake at the end, but taken off all of that backing off the foam, and that little blue piece helped me to hold everything straight and placed it down onto the card base with much more confidence. And then I'm going to press down just to make sure these pieces are all nicely adhered, and then I will peel back the press and seal. I called it saran wrap earlier. You know what I'm saying. It's press and seal, but look at what that lets me do. These are all popped up with nice little margins of space where the die cut was. Oh, love it. For the sentiment, I'm using a stamp from a set that I designed from Simon Says Stamp, and I will stamp down the good news. I'm doing this in Versafine ink because I thought it would be cute to take some clear embossing powder, sprinkle that over the damp, if you will, ink, and then when I heat set this, it adds that just nice little bit of extra shine and depth to where the black ink is. Had to tap off the excess there. All right, let's go with the heat tool. And you can see it gets nice and shiny and adds just a little bit of texture to that stamped sentiment. I'll take a circle die that I have from a nested set and just go ahead and cut that out. Super easy. Add some foam squares of the same depth that I used on the rainbow and pop that right in the center of that opening. Just like that. Lining it up and pressing it down. I'll finish off this card with some silver sequins. This is a set from Pretty Pink Posh, and I use this set all the time because it has multiple sizes, and I really like to have the choice when I'm picking my sequins, and I think that looks great. That's the finished card. Dimension, easy watercolor, and once I figured out how to use the press and seal correctly, it worked. Now I want to show you the card that I started with. I always make one before I film a video, and I pressed it down incorrectly. So, live and learn, but still, salvage it. Then I created another card with the outline, that pretty watercolor. I just stacked a few more outline dies together and popped a circular sentiment in the center. So, one card out of the positive, well, two, and a card from the negative. I love this die. I hope you want to check it out, and I think it would be great with pattern paper too. Can you imagine creating sort of different patterns in different color families? I think that could be cool as well. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.